The skies above Korath Prime burned red, not from its dying sun, but from the descending fleet of the Valrith Dominion. The Valrith were a proud, war-born species, their empire spanning 100 star systems. They conquered through terror, broke their enemies with speed, and demanded obedience through fear. Few worlds dared to resist. But on the ravaged outskirts of the Valrith assault lay the small settlement of Greyfall Outpost, a human frontier colony. Its defenses were meager, its population scattered, and its garrison reduced to a handful of marines. To the Valrith, it was not even a battle worth their attention. Yet to Commander Saraxis, war leader of the Valrith Vanguard, the outpost represented something different, a test. She had grown weary of prey that always ran, always begged, always broke. There was no challenge anymore. Her fangs yearned for prey that resisted, if only to make the kill satisfying. She stalked the battlefield with her warband, claws scraping against the metal hull of the broken human walls. Smoke curled in the cold air. Civilians had fled into the forests or lay buried under rubble. Those that fought were already slaughtered, their weapons scattered and smoking. And yet one remained. Saraxis halted as she found him standing in the center of the ruined square. Lone. A single human. His armor was scorched, his left arm bloodied, his rifle broken in half. He leaned against nothing, standing straight despite the wounds. His breathing was slow, controlled. He did not flee. He did not cower. His eyes, gray and cold as winter stone, watched her approach. Her warriors growled in anticipation, circling him like wolves around a wounded animal. But Saraxis raised her clawed hand, signaling silence. She wanted to hear his voice. "Human," she rasped in her guttural tongue, her fangs flashing. "Why do you not run?" The human tilted his head slightly, as though considering the question. His lips curled into something that was not quite a smile. "Because," he said, his voice raw but steady, "I'm not here to survive. I'm here to make sure none of you forget me." For the first time in years, Saraxis felt something cold crawl along her spine. Middle. The battle should have ended quickly. One lone soldier against a hunting pack of Valrith warriors. It was a formality, an afterthought. And yet, Saraxis found herself giving her warriors no command to attack. Something in the human's gaze rooted her in place, something alien to her warrior's instincts. She searched his stance for fear, there was none. His pulse should have been racing, yet his breathing remained even. His body should have been trembling from blood loss, yet he stood with unnerving stillness. "Name yourself," Saraxis demanded, claws flexing. "Lieutenant Marcus Hale, United Terran Forces." His voice did not waver. "You'll remember it." Her warriors hissed in derision. A wounded prey animal daring to give its name, as though it mattered. Yet Saraxis silenced them with a glare. She could not explain it, even to herself, but something about him demanded attention. "You stand alone," she growled. "Your kind has fled. Your weapons are broken. You are already dead." "Then kill me," Marcus said evenly. "But understand this, I'm not the one trapped here with monsters. You are." Saraxis blinked. The audacity, the madness, the calm certainty. A memory flickered within her. Old whispers of the human's reputation across the stars. They were weak, short-lived, fragile things. And yet stories persisted. Stories of humans fighting long after logic dictated surrender. Of humans biting, clawing, burning themselves alive just to drag an enemy down with them. The term other species used for them echoed in her skull like a forgotten curse. Deathworlders. Marcus shifted slightly, blood dripping from his arm. Your kind fights for conquest. We fight for each other. That's why you'll never truly win. Ceraxis snarled, lunging forward, closing the gap. Her claws stopped inches from his throat. She wanted to see him flinch, to see the fear break through. But he did not move. His eyes remained steady, unblinking, fixed on hers as though daring her. Her warriors shifted uneasily behind her. For the first time they were not sure who was predator and who was prey. The stalemate stretched until a distant boom shattered the silence. Both turned their gaze skyward. From the clouds, streaks of fire began cutting across the heavens. Dropships, human reinforcements. Marcus chuckled, the sound dry and humorless. You came here thinking we'd scatter like prey. But humans don't run. We hold. We bleed. And then we come back for you. Ceraxis' blood chilled further. He wasn't bluffing. She could see it in his eyes, the willingness to burn himself to ash if it meant taking them with him. Her warriors stirred nervously. They were hunters, not soldiers. They thrived on fear and panic. But what do you do when the prey does not fear you? When the prey welcomes death, so long as it drags you down? Ceraxis realized, with a dawning horror, that they had not cornered a wounded animal. They had cornered something far worse. Climax. The first human dropship screamed overhead, scattering fire across the square. Valrith warriors hissed and scrambled for cover. Ceraxis stayed rooted, claws still at the human's throat, her mind torn between instinct and curiosity. You should be afraid, she snarled. Marcus leaned forward just enough for his blood to smear against her claw. We don't fear death. We fear failing the ones we swore to protect. That's the difference between us and you. Then the battle returned in full fury. Explosions rumbled, plasma fire lit the sky, and humans stormed the ruins with a ferocity Ceraxis had not witnessed in decades. Her warriors began to falter, outnumbered and unnerved. Marcus stumbled back, finally giving in to his wounds, but he did not fall. Instead, he grasped the broken haft of his rifle and charged into the fray with a hoarse battle cry. Ceraxis watched, stunned, as he slammed the jagged metal into Valritha's throat, tearing the warrior down with sheer willpower. Even half dead, he fought like a beast unleashed, dragging her soldiers into the dirt with him. And they feared him. The human reinforcements surged forward, rallying around Marcus as though his defiance alone had sparked them. To them he was not a broken soldier, he was a symbol. His refusal to run, his refusal to break, ignited something far greater than survival. For the first time, Ceraxis tasted the bitter edge of doubt. By the time the battle ended, the square was unrecognizable. Smoke and blood painted the ruins. The Valrith had been driven back, their war band scattered, their pride shattered. Marcus lay against the rubble, his body finally giving way to exhaustion and blood loss. Human medics rushed to him, lifting him onto a stretcher. Yet even in his haze, he managed to glance toward Ceraxis, who lingered at the edge of the retreat. Their eyes met once more. "Why didn't you run?" she asked again, her voice lower this time, almost reverent. Marcus' lips curved faintly, his voice a rasping whisper. "Because if I run, humanity falls. And I'll never let that happen." Ceraxis felt her blood turn cold. She, a predator who had feasted on countless foes, had met something she did not understand, something more terrifying than prey. As her warriors dragged her away, she could not shake the image from her mind. The human had been broken, beaten, and dying. Yet he had not run. He had stood. And in doing so, he had frozen the blood of an alien warlord.